Developing tonight, a suspect in custody for the killing of United Healthcare CEO, and he has ties to the West Coast. The restaurant customer who spotted him being called a hero.
Pennsylvania resident saw something early this morning at McDonald's and said something to our local police.
And good evening, everyone. Welcome to West Coast Wrap. I'm Alex Savage. 26-year-old Luigi Mangione made his first court appearance earlier tonight, facing forgery and weapons charges, and he was ordered held without bail. He's expected to be extradited to New York for the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. That targeted shooting last week led to a nationwide manhunt. Cameras captured Mangione arriving for tonight's court appearance in Pennsylvania. Authorities say a McDonald's worker in Altoona, Pennsylvania, spotted him at the restaurant and tipped off police. When they confronted Mangione, they say he had a gun consistent with the one that was used in Thompson's killing.
That male was asked for a form of identification. He then provided a fake identification card out of New Jersey.
And we're learning more about Mangione's ties to the West, which includes a previous address in Honolulu, Hawaii. And as KTVU's Jesse Gary reports tonight, he also has years of work history in Southern California and in the San Francisco Bay Area.
On his LinkedIn page, Luigi Mangione lists that he worked at Stanford University shortly before the COVID pandemic. From May to September of that year, he worked as a head counselor and artificial intelligence teaching assistant.
The entire tech industry and all of academia is focused on AI, so it doesn't surprise me that a apparently smart person, perhaps evil but still smart, would be involved in AI. And obviously Stanford is a very great place to do your AI work if you have that opportunity.
Stanford officials confirmed via email that Mangione worked on the campus during that time, but declined to provide more information. New York police investigators say he is originally from the East Coast and worked his way west.
He was born and raised in Maryland. We know he has ties to San Francisco, California, and his last known address was Honolulu, Hawaii. He has no prior arrest history in New York.
Late Monday, video from Pennsylvania showing police escorting Mangione inside a cell. The 26-year-old is charged in the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson last Wednesday. Mangione's professional bio says he earned a Master's of Science degree in engineering from the University of Pennsylvania. It lists TrueCar as his employer the past 4 years. That company sent Fox 2 an email saying, in part, "We can confirm Luigi Mangione has not been an employee of our company since 2023.
Apparently he spent a lot of time advising students in various ways, but I mean, AI is a very important area of study at Stanford, not just in the computer sciences, but in every aspect of it, in medicine, in social science, humanities, every discipline is using AI. So I could see how Stanford would hire lots of people, and I could see how he'd be attracted to it.
Considering his connection to the AI industry, it is ironic that AI led to his capture. New York police investigators saying facial recognition software allowed them to create images of Mangione, which they were able to distribute. That helped the McDonald's employee recognize him and call police. On the Stanford University campus, Jesse Gary, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
And United Health Group did issue a statement following today's arrest that says, in part, quote, "Our hope is that today's apprehension brings some relief to Brian's family, friends, colleagues, and the many others affected by this unspeakable tragedy. We thank law enforcement and will continue to work with them on this investigation. We ask that everyone respect the family's privacy as they mourn." And you can find extensive coverage on this case up at our website, that is westcoastwrap.com. Our online coverage includes a timeline of this manhunt and more on what investigators are now learning about the suspect. We move on to other news here, and an earthquake gave people in 2 western states a big jolt today. A 5.5 magnitude quake was centered in Yerington, Nevada, southeast of Reno. People as far away as the San Francisco Bay Area reported feeling the shaking. So far, though, there are no reports of any damage. And in terms of our weather, the return of Santa Ana winds bringing the highest possible fire danger to some parts of Southern California this week. A red flag warning will remain in effect through Wednesday morning. Unusual to see this here in December. For more, let's bring in KTVU meteorologist Rosemary Orozco, who is tracking the dry, windy weather and the conditions all across the West. Rosemary?
Yes, Alex, we are looking at dry and windy weather lasting into Wednesday. Giving you a look here at Los Angeles, where Los Angeles today 66 degrees and mostly clear skies. The system that is going to be providing that wind all the way through Wednesday is going to continue to bring the dry conditions over much of California, at least until we get into midweek when things start to change up. So the red flag warning over Southern California all the way into San Diego until 6 p.m. on Wednesday. We're looking at wind gusts reaching 70 miles per hour or so for some of our hills, the passes there, and relative humidity will be in the single digits. So critically dry weather here. The winds over areas of central and northern California actually helping to improve the air quality in this area. But the difference between areas over the Bay Area compared to Los Angeles is that late last month, right before Thanksgiving, a lot of rain fell over northern and central California. Southern California did not receive that rain, and as a result, they have been struggling with extremely dry conditions. Meanwhile, a wind advisory in place for parts of the desert there. And then as we head over towards the Bay Area, a little bit of wind helping with air quality today. Tomorrow, the winds die down, and there is a frost advisory for parts of the Bay Area, especially those inland spots. Taking a look at the satellite and radar, here's what's going on. A ridge parked right over the west is pushing any rain possibility or snow well to the north all the way into Canada. It takes until Tuesday into Wednesday before it finally begins to break down. And here is a look at what we are expecting in the days ahead. Tuesday afternoon, an increase in cloud cover, but by Wednesday, areas over the Pacific Northwest all the way down into the Bay Area expected to receive a little bit of rain, and it could clip Southern California as well. But again, Southern California has been really, really dry. There will be another opportunity for some rain that moves in later in the week, closer to the weekend. But with this first system, anywhere from a quarter inch to a half inch expected, maybe a few sprinkles, a little bit of drizzle expected for the Southern California area. So that's what's coming in the coming days. Meanwhile, the temperatures have been relatively mild, even above average for many spots. Take a look at the desert Southwest, where Phoenix, Arizona, still enjoying partly cloudy skies, the upper 60s to low 70s. Los Angeles looking good as well, although the big concern there is the heightened fire danger. Over towards the Bay Area, temperatures have been above average, will remain in the low 60s for San Francisco Tuesday, Wednesday. A little bit cooler on Thursday with, again, scattered showers expected to arrive Wednesday night into Thursday. Meanwhile, Seattle will also be with the cooler weather and the unsettled weather returning there as well. Back to you.
Rosemary, thank you. The polygamous sect leader who admits he was involved in a scheme to transport underage girls across state lines for sex faces 50 years behind bars. Fox 10's Ashley Rodriguez reports tonight that Samuel Bateman didn't have anything to say during a sentencing hearing in Phoenix today.
From 2019 to 2020, 48-year-old Samuel Bateman led a small group, an offshoot of the Warren Jeffs sect.
He was absolutely a sociopath and manipulated his followers, but they did truly believe he was speaking for God.
Their community, a fundamentalist Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints with about 100 members, stretched from Nebraska, Colorado, Utah, and Arizona. Bateman was said to be acting on orders from the Heavenly Father when women and young girls were kidnapped, transported across state lines for sex crimes, and taken to be his wives. The women and girls sometimes taken from his own male followers after they'd been punished and forced to atone for their sins.
Have to take into account that these are people who were born and raised in under a society that really created a lot of fear. And so somebody who's growing up in that society where there's no other options, there's no other information, there's nothing else coming in except for that what's being held over their heads. will be very vulnerable to a man like Samuel Bateman.
But the Arizona U.S. Attorney caught on with some of his sex crimes being recorded. In 2022, on a hot 106-degree day, while pulling a trailer in Flagstaff, someone called police after they saw small fingers reaching through the slats of a door. Inside the non-ventilated trailer was a makeshift toilet, sofa, chairs, and 3 girls, ranging from 11 to 14 years old. Bateman was arrested.
When he was finally arrested, everyone was very relieved. I will tell you, everyone in Colorado City had been reporting him, had been asking the authorities to move against him. And so when he was finally arrested, there was general rejoicing.
Bateman posted bond, but then was soon arrested again, accused of obstructing justice in this case. Bateman admitted he was involved. 7 of his wives were convicted of crimes of coercing children into sexual activity, or watching or taking part in his illicit group sex activities. Bateman pled guilty to the years-long scheme.
I believe that he deserves the very highest sentence that he can receive. I don't think he should ever see the light of day again.
And that was Fox 10's Ashley Rodriguez reporting for us tonight. 2 men associated with Bateman are going to be sentenced later on this month. They were convicted of a charge tied to persuading a child to engage in sexual activity. They could face up to 10 years in prison. One of Bateman's wives will be facing trial next month. She's accused of kidnapping. Police in Colorado have launched an investigation after 6 college students overdosed at a fraternity party, possibly on tainted cocaine. This all happened Saturday night at the Kappa Sigma fraternity house near the University of Colorado Boulder. Those 6 male students were all taken to hospitals. One was in grave condition initially, but authorities say he has improved. All of them are expected to recover.
There's a level of permissiveness in the town. I think now that college kids are involved in overdoses, I think maybe, we need to do something.
Detectives are investigating whether those overdoses were related to pledging at the fraternity. University officials say the fraternity was expelled from the school back in 2015. So far, there has been no comment from the Kappa Sigma fraternity. Up next tonight here on West Coast Wrap, plans to inform immigrants about their rights being met with threats of happy hunting. Tonight, organizers of this information session changed their plans. Plus, a major auto theft bust in Colorado will lay out how investigators say the suspects are tied to a Mexican drug cartel. Authorities in Denver announced more than a dozen arrests in connection with a major stolen car ring. 17 people were indicted and accused of stealing at least 190 vehicles over an 18-month period. Authorities say the group was linked to the Sinaloa drug cartel, which stole many of the vehicles from the Denver International Airport parking lots. Those vehicles were then taken to Mexico, where they were traded to drug cartels for cocaine and methamphetamine.
If somebody sets a foot, just a foot, 1 foot, you don't need 2, on our land, congratulations, you are now a citizen of the United States of America. Yes, we're going to end that because it's ridiculous.
In a weekend interview with NBC, President-elect Trump said he is looking at the possibility of ending the right to citizenship for anyone born in the U.S., regardless of their parents' legal status. During the interview, Trump also made false claims about the citizenship process. The 14th Amendment to the Constitution grants citizenship to any child born on U.S. soil. Making a change to the Constitution requires 2/3 of both the House and the Senate to approve it, and 3/4 of the nation's state legislatures also need to ratify any such change. President-elect Trump has said that he has been told by lawyers that he can eliminate that provision with an executive order. Immigration law professor Bill Hing from the University of San Francisco says this appears to be a bid to stir support for Trump's proposed immigration enforcement crackdown.
Some of his other statements, for example, arresting certain people that are undocumented, he may be able to do that, of course, but ending birthright citizenship is just another way of stirring up more hysteria over potential immigration enforcement.
And Professor Hing added that Trump's apparent support for finding a path to citizenship for people brought to the U.S. illegally as children may be due to his growing backing from Silicon Valley leaders who support immigration reform for those so-called dreamers. Well, social media chatter over plans to inform people how to react to potential immigration raids has left some people in one community north of Seattle feeling nervous. Fox 13's Alejandra Guzman explains that organizers of this event say a school is no longer a safe place to have it.
Once again, we're seeing social media influence decision making, this time here at the Edmonds School District, who has now canceled their one and only Know Your Right session. They say Meadowdale High School is no longer a safe space to host this event because those social media comments did include happy hunting and folks saying that they would be there to, quote, help ICE get rid of garbage illegal aliens. This is a huge disservice, according to immigration advocacy organizations who say that these sessions come at a crucial time when communities feel unsafe. A save the date for the Know Your Right session was sent to Edmonds School District parents late last week. It was posted to the district's calendar in partnership with the Mexican consulate, who scheduled a 2-hour window on December 17th. A flyer for the event said the conversation would include how to prepare for immigration raids, what your rights are when approached, detained, or incarcerated by police or immigration agents. 24% of the school district students are Hispanic or Latino. Overall, there are more minority students at 47.1% compared to 45.3% who are white. News of the session was quickly shared on X by the account Libs on TikTok. Since Friday, it has more than 588,000 views and hundreds of comments, including, "Great time to round them all up. Cool, we can get the whole family at the same time. If you're here illegally, you should not get rights."
I'm disappointed, but I'm not surprised.
Everyone in the U.S. is guaranteed rights under the Constitution regardless of immigration status, according to the U.S. Committee for Refugees and Immigrants. One America, an organization pushing for policy change, says there's been an increase in requests for these types of sessions by communities since 2016.
We equip people with the knowledge they need to ensure that them and their families and their communities know what they can and can't do in the face of raids or targeted deportation. There's a lot at stake when our community doesn't know their rights.
The Edmonds School District is still in talks about how to best get families this crucial information the same way they would have had there been a session. I did reach out to the original account who shared this post and the role it may have played in this incident, but we have not heard back. Alejandra Guzman, Fox 13 News.
California state lawmakers are considering a bill designed to keep immigration officers out of California schools and child care centers. This would ban federal immigration enforcement agents from entering those sites without a court order. They would also need the approval of a school superintendent or child care manager. Supporters of the measure say it's in direct response to President-elect Trump's threat to deport millions of undocumented immigrants. Tonight, Jay-Z is fighting back after being hit with a lawsuit accusing him of raping a 13-year-old girl more than 2 decades ago. The rapper and music mogul describes the allegation as an extortion attempt. The woman previously sued Sean Diddy Combs, claiming she was raped at an award show after party in New York back in 2000. Yesterday, she amended the lawsuit to include a new allegation that Jay-Z also took part in that sexual assault. Jay-Z says he's filed a lawsuit against the woman's Texas attorney, Tony Busby, accusing him of blackmail.
Says that Tony Busby sent him a demand letter back in October, and Jay-Z decided he was not going to take that, and he felt I didn't do anything wrong. So, as he puts it, Tony Busby picked on the wrong guy, and that he is not like other celebrities who might be willing to roll over and reach some settlement with him. He said, I didn't do anything wrong, so I am not giving you one red penny.
Attorney Tony Busby represents at least 120 people making allegations of sexual misconduct against Sean Diddy Combs. In a court filing, Jay-Z's attorney has argued that his accuser should have to reveal her identity in order for the lawsuit to move forward. The military announced today it's grounding all Osprey aircraft following a close call over New Mexico last month. Last month, that Osprey nearly crashed at Cannon Air Force Base. Investigators say weakened metals inside the aircraft broke apart during flight, causing engine failure. That close call came after a crash last year off the coast of Japan that killed 8 Air Force service members. The New Mexico event was the latest in a series of problems for the Osprey over the last 5 years, including safety concerns about parts wearing out faster than expected. The Pentagon says the pause is indefinite as officials look at how this safety issue can be addressed. Coming up tonight here on West Coast Wrap, 3 athletes who play here in the West with Heisman Trophy dreams. Coming up, the list of finalists for this year's award. A new program for foster kids in Arizona is helping set them up for life. As Fox 10's Steve Nielsen explains tonight, the goal is to empower young people to make informed decisions about their future and to build career skills.
Anthony Evans looks at the donations that matter so much to kids that were once like him.
I came into foster care when I was 13.
Group home to group home, he struggled.
Started just going from like group home to group home, you know, and then senior year of high school, started trying to explore what I wanted to do after high school, you know, post-secondary education. So I got with Keys to Success.
That's where Sophia Campbell comes in with the Arizona Friends of Foster Children Foundation. Their program, Keys to Success, tries to make sure foster kids have the tools they need after they turn 18.
Youth who are transitioning out of foster care were ill-equipped with the knowledge, skills, and resources to live independently.
They work with foster kids 16 until they're 26 to find good fits. Anthony got a scholarship and so much more.
A scooter so I could get to work. Work clothes, like for interviews, stuff like that.
Now he has a job and is a student at EVIT, or East Valley Institute of Technology.
We explored different colleges. I figured out like college wasn't really going to be the best option for me. So we looked at EVIT, found out like they had a place I could stay and stuff, like a dorm program. So we got into that. She helped me a lot get there.
He's studying to work on electrical transmission lines.
I like hands-on work. It's pretty, it comes natural to me. So just, you know, working with my hands and stuff, I feel like it's pretty easy, like when I'm actually in there doing the work.
And it's all thanks to his hard work, but the opportunities Keys to Success gave him.
We want to make sure that these youth can become self-sufficient, and we do that by helping these individuals not only create a resume, we want to make sure that they know how to find employment and maintain employment.
I feel like it's a big impact to me, so it's helped me out a lot.
And that was Fox 10's Steve Nielsen reporting tonight. About 88% of those who participated in Keys to Success secured a job within 1 year. Finally tonight, the West is making a strong showing in this year's run for the Heisman Trophy. Finalists for the award celebrating college football's most outstanding player were announced earlier today, and 3 of this year's 4 finalists are from schools here in the West. They include Oregon quarterback Dylan Gabriel, Colorado cornerback and wide receiver Travis Hunter, and Boise State University running back Ashton Jeanty. The other athlete in the running is Miami quarterback Cam Ward. The winner, selected by a vote of mostly sports journalists, is going to be announced on Saturday in New York City. And congratulations to all of those finalists. Clearly, they are playing some good football here in the West, and we'll wait to see who takes home the hardware when it's all said and done. A reminder before we go tonight, you can stay up to date on all the stories we're covering at our website. That is westcoastwrap.com. And you can stream all of our shows right there on your smart TV. All you have to do is download that free Fox Local app. Hope you have a great rest of your night. We'll see you back here tomorrow.